Welcome back to the 2 Months Podcast presented by BioSteel. I'm your host, Joshua Marshall. Tonight, we have a very special guest. He's from the Calgary Hitmen. He's in his first season in the WHL. We like to welcome London Hoilett to the 2 Months Podcast. London, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. No, just we apologize. We had a set day we would do this, and I apologize that I had to reschedule, but I'm happy to have you on, and it's a pleasure to kind of talk to you. And obviously, you had something pretty special come down your way here with honoring Jerome McGinley and his Nigerian heritage. And I guess we'll kind of start with that before we kind of get into your career and where things are at with you right now. How cool was it to get that call and to be a part of something pretty special?
Yeah, it was surreal, honestly. I mean, our social media manager, her name's Cass. She texted me and said, "Hey, would you want to be in a model for Jerome McGinley's jersey?" And I was like, "Yes, sign me up!" Right? So I can't pass that.
No.
And so yeah, it was crazy, and I was super blessed to be a part of that.
Nice. Now, have you ever met Jerome or have any dealings with him, or did you get to talk to him kind of before things kind of went public with this at all?
No, unfortunately, I think he's still coaching in Kelowna right now, and I've never met him, but I had played against his son last year in midget. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I've always known him. I've watched him since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a big role model, and I'd love to meet him one day. So
Yeah, no, I got to meet him here at the John Reed Memorial Tournament here in Edmonton, and I got to talk to his dad, and I know his brothers and sisters a little bit, and just a great family as anyone would know. And he was very cautious on not wanting to do a podcast. He's very old school in a way with that, and which is very respectful in that aspect. But he very genuine, very humble, very kind, and obviously what he's done to pave the way in the game has been amazing. Now, he's a guy you look up to. Is there something about his game that you like to put into your game when you get out there on the ice and kind of get in that zone?
Well, yeah, I think what set Iginla apart from a lot of great hockey players was his leadership. I mean, he's referred to as one of the best leaders to ever play the game. So, I mean, when I get on the ice, I try and be, I try and be a leader. I try to lead by example, and I try to push my teammates to work hard, and yeah, that's kind of how I model my game after him a little bit.
Yeah, he's nice. That's awesome. So you're born in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Kind of talk about playing minor hockey there. Kind of what that background is. I know Travis Hamonic, and he's from that area too. And there's a lot of a lot of great players that have come out of that area. The Howden brothers are pretty great too. But can you speak to kind of the hockey, and the opportunity playing there, and what it means to be from that area and representing, people from Manitoba here in the WHL too.
Oh, well, yeah, one, hockey is a really big thing in Manitoba and Winnipeg especially. So, I mean, it's really tight knit community. Honestly, I mean, everybody knows everybody. If you play hockey, like, you've seen each other around the rink, and so yeah, it's really cool to have I guess been able to represent my city from Calgary, and I mean, honestly, the support I've gotten from all my friends back home and all the boys, it's been awesome, and yeah, it was cool.
Nice. That's awesome. So this is your first year in the WHL. I know a lot of people when they come on and we do interviews, the one thing they love to talk about is their billet family. Is there anything you could say about the family that you're with here in Calgary and how much that means to you to kind of be, brought in, and we'll get to playing with in the WHL, but, kind of talk about, the family that you're with and how that experience has gone so far here in your first year in the WHL.
It's been awesome. Honestly, I couldn't have been more grateful and more thankful to have them. They're Brad and Jen. That's my billet parents, and I was lucky enough to actually be able to set up my music equipment in the garage here. So thanks to Brad, he does woodworking, so he's moved over his stuff a little bit, and I really appreciate him sharing his space with me. And yeah, honestly, I couldn't be more thankful. They're so kind. They come to every game. And yeah, they're very thoughtful, and they make sure the cereal boxes are always full. So
nice. What's your favorite, your go-to for cereal?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch all day.
Oh yeah, I got like
all
that one
day.
too. That one's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's good. That's awesome. So how's the experience gone? Like, has it when you got the call? I know just before we're kind of just we hit record here. Your first goal was to just to make the team, and that has happened. You're having a good year to start here, and you're going
Thank you.
going into a playoff push here, and it's been a really good organization for quite some time. But talk about the experience and playing in the WHL, and then what are the things that are kind of challenging that you like to have that challenge every night in the WHL, where it's never an easy night too.
hmm well, honestly, it's been probably the coolest year of my life. I love playing with this level of hockey, and I mean, I've always kind of uh, rose to the occasion a little bit when we're faced with tougher teams, and that's yeah, it kind of just feeds into my style of play. It's gritty, and yeah, so I guess a challenging part of being in the league, obviously, is especially as a rookie and as a student at the same time, is I guess time management, and I guess also just being exhausted constantly, right? So
Yeah,
like
yeah,
learning how to like maintain your body and make sure you're always fueled and ready to go. So yeah, it's been tough, but I mean we have a lot of support from the team, like with tutors, and we always have the resources we need, so that it makes our job a little easier when it comes to playing the game.
yeah. Talk about the organization. It's been around for a long time. It's got a rich history. Playing in this for this organization, and you're in a city where there's an NHL team, an AHL team. Is there any times you get to cross paths with those guys and kind of pick their brains and see things to learn from? Obviously, you got a great coaching staff for that too, but and we'll get into the coaches. But talk about having the Flames there and the Wranglers there too.
Well, yeah, definitely a very, very busy rink we
Arrangement.
have going
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
So, I mean, in between like concerts and then all the other games like the Flames and the Wranglers, obviously. So, yeah, I mean, walking into the rink for practice, you'll cross paths with some Flames guys, and I've seen Lucic here and there, and that's been pretty cool. But
yeah,
we, I mean, it's the coolest part is being able to watch them practice and being able to watch also the other teams come and practice. Before we go on the ice. So that's also pretty cool. So we haven't had much communication verbally with each other, but I think there's definitely a mutual kind of respect
yeah.
when you walk into that building, and it's pretty cool to be able to share the ice with them.
Yeah, when you see Luch next time, you got to go be like, I was on the Too Much podcast too. So
I,
maybe
I will for sure.
open up the door kind of conversation. So
Yeah.
you could do it, Luch or Backlund or Toffoli too, all great guys, and Peter Hanlon and the rest of that staff's amazing. Talk about
Yeah.
your coaching staff that you have. You got a legend in Matt Stajan. I'm a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, and I love when the Rage and Stajan was in Toronto, and then obviously the Calgary too. But you got a great head coach there too, and Steve Hamilton. But talk about that coaching staff and what do they bring to you, and you can learn from them every day.
Well, I mean, they have a tremendous amount of experience, right? So
Yeah,
every time they have something to say, I'm always listening with open ears because I mean, nobody knows better than them. So
yeah,
I mean, especially Stage, he's been there. So you know, I gotta just make sure I'm
yeah,
always listening and trying to soak in all the I guess what he's trying to tell me so I can
yeah,
try and apply it to my game. So
yeah.
yeah, honestly, the coaching staff is awesome. I mean, they're super supportive of everybody too, and they definitely know when to light that fire under you. So it's
Yeah.
good.
Is there one thing that kind of really stuck out from you from any of them? Maybe it was just one of them. Maybe it was a word or a situation that happened in a game that you're just like, wow, like this is amazing that I'm getting this kind of information, and then I can translate that information to the game on the ice. Is there anything offensively, defensively, neutral zone, anything like that that kind of just stuck out to you?
Yeah, well, it was actually before I even necessarily made the team. I was at camp and I was getting ready to sign, and we were kind of on the fence about with my eligibility as a NCAA player or whatever that scenario was. Coach Hamilton, he told me to bet on myself, and that for some reason struck a nerve in me, and it kind of was like. I honestly understand what he means by that. And I think it was time for me to kind of take that chance, and I felt like I was ready, and it was. And he also gave me like this huge tip that I think has benefited me throughout the year, and it was to use my body and use my size effectively. He said like nobody's got a
Yeah.
motor like you, quite like a motor like you. So, I try and apply everything he says and into my game, and I'm always learning, and I'm so grateful to have him as my coaches.
They're great people too, for sure.
Yeah.
Can you talk about Riley Fiddler Schultz, your captain? Kind of just like we were saying before we hit record. Vernon Fiddler's been on our podcast about 5 or 6 times, and that's his nephew, and speaks very highly of him. And he's come in and been a great pro for you guys, a great captain. He's having an amazing year. Can you talk about the success that he's been able to have in the WHL, and what he brings to you guys as a leader every day?
I mean, yeah, he brings obviously a tremendous amount of leadership, and he sets an example for everybody and sets a standard. So, I mean, just especially as a rookie coming in, like getting to watch him and how he operates, and he honestly he's such a pro. He's already like a pro. So, I mean, it's good to be able to watch that and kind of take what you can from what he does, like, whether that's off the ice and then on the ice. I mean, he's he's a leader everywhere he goes. No matter if we're out with the boys or whatever, or on the ice, obviously practice and the gym. So he's always leading by example, and yeah, I'm very grateful to have him as my captain.
Yeah, that's awesome. You obviously got an amazing team there. You probably could name all teammates if you want, but is there any other guys there that have helped you out too that you can learn a lot from, but also the ones that because you kind of said you want to take a little bit of leadership role too, and learning that from Jerome McGinley. Is there something that you can kind of, you know, does it like what I love about this, and because I'm a big like Boston Bruin character kind of guy. I'm a Leaf fan, but I like the character the Bruins always had, and they don't really bring up rookies at all, and the way they kind of do things in their organization. And I think that's like awesome because Zdeno Chara learned that at the WHL level when he was there. But is there anything that you can do and kind of learning from that, and just even knowing that yes, you're a rookie, but you're not a rookie in a way, like you can talk to someone and have a good conversation? Is there some of those teammates that you like to have those conversations with to kind of pick your brain about the game, maybe help them, they help you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, me and Fitz are pretty close, so yeah, whenever I have questions, which is often, honestly,
Yeah.
love to learn. So I mean, I always ask him what his thoughts on something is, and he's always there to give an answer. And yeah, honestly, I mean, if we're talking about if I'm a leader, I mean, I think I just bring just energy.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's my role. Obviously, I'm a rookie, so I don't have necessarily the experience that some of these older guys have, and I think they bring a lot to the team using just their experience also. So yeah, honestly, it's been pretty cool, and I'm very grateful.
That's awesome. Now, I don't know if this is true, but I heard and I saw this, I read it up. Did you score a goal in a game where it was the teddy bear toss game and you were the guy that scored the first goal? Is that correct? Or did I have the wrong?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so how cool was that experience? Obviously, it's one of the great things in the WHL and even in the AHL and stuff like that. Like, how cool was that experience and being a part of that?
It was absolutely surreal. It was unbelievable. I mean, my mom was there too, and my sister. So
That's
yeah, it was absolutely crazy.
Now,
It
okay, you
was
got to
fun.
describe the goal then. How did the goal happen? What was the play like? Who was it against? For the fans that don't know.
Okay, so we were against Medhat, and my centerman Marinkovic, he called a set play we have. I'm not going to name it, but
No, you don't. Yeah, you don't.
uh, just in
Yeah,
case anybody's listening.
yeah,
But
exactly.
so
Yeah,
we won the draw, and it went out behind him, and I ended up rolling over top the circle, kind of, and it was kind of bobbling, but I took it from my backhand to my forehand and just ripped it through some bodies, and all I hear is a ping, and I was like looking, and then I see the puck behind the goalie, and then I was like, no way, that just happened.
yeah,
That was
that's
crazy.
pretty sweet, man. You got a huge smile on your face, and you're pretty happy
Yeah,
about that moment for sure.
yeah.
What has it been like to play, Connor Bedard this year, and obviously see the stardom that he's had, and the challenges that he does bring to you guys on a nightly basis when you guys would get that chance of matching up against him?
I only played him once. I was scratched, I think, the first two times that we played him.
Okay.
And then there was another time we played Regina where I wasn't scratched, but he was also at World Juniors. So I got to play him once, and that was the last game we had here at the Saddle Dome.
That was on
And
TSN. That was a hell of a game too. Yeah.
yeah, it was in
Yeah.
a packed barn, and
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, it's pretty cool to be able to play against a player like that, right? I mean, obviously, he brings quite the atmosphere with him wherever he goes. So, yeah, playing against him, it's tough. He's always got his eyes up, and you can tell he's always thinking out there. And yeah, I mean, you definitely got to try and adapt to his style of play. And I think we did a pretty good job that last game we played of keeping him to a minimum.
Yeah, just hold them off as much as you can. So
Yeah, it's
pretty
hard to
hard.
do.
He's a pretty hard guy to contain at times for sure. But when you can, it's obviously a win. I know the other night, I think Saskatoon held him off the score sheet there, or he had a rough night.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I think he was like a -5, and he's gonna the next game he's gonna have out here. I think it was just this week too. So not too long ago, he's going to be raring to go. I think they lost 5-2, but not many nights like that happen for him. But it shows the parity in the league that you play in, right? It's how good the WHL is, and anyone can beat anyone on any given night. That doesn't matter who you have on the other side. It's just that worth ethic and that will that you guys bring every game. So talk about the year you're having. Obviously, you guys are getting pretty close to the end here, but how excited are you for where are you at today with the season?
Well, we had a practice today, and we're getting ready to play Red Deer in Red Deer on Friday. So it's an important few games for us here because we're coming down the stretch, and we're trying to solidify a playoff spot. So
Yeah.
big games. It's going to be kind of playoff hockey right now.
Yeah.
Before playoff starts, it's going to be playoff hard mouth hockey, and I'm excited. Honestly, I think I have a lot of faith in our team, and as long as we go out there and do what we know we can do, I don't think we should have any problems with achieving our goals. So
yeah, would Red Deer be one of your guys' good rivals right now? Would that be kind of your main one? Just the
oh
way
yeah,
the season's gone. Yeah, yeah,
oh yeah. So yeah, I mean we always seem to match up pretty well with them. I don't know if it's the style of play,
yeah,
but yeah, we're pretty close. I mean, all the games we've had have been really close. I mean, lots of the times it goes into like overtime or shootouts.
yeah.
And yeah, so we're gonna try and beat them in regulation. So
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
yeah, nice. Yeah, Brent Sutter's been on our podcast a few times, and what he's been able to build with that organization, but also very passionate about the WHL and in that too. So, is there an agent that you have or an advisor that in your that is helping you right now in the next process and kind of there to support you, or you kind of just just playing out the string and see where things go and just being grateful to be playing in the WHL too?
Well, yeah, I have an agent. His name is Dan Bonner. He was also a player in the WHL. He played for the Brandon Wheat Kings, and then he played a little bit in the NHL, which is really cool. So yeah, I'm so happy I met him. Honestly, I don't think I'd be here without him, and that's for sure. Because yeah, he sent out some letters and said, I've got a player here and I want to help him. If there's any spots left at your camp, that'd be amazing, and it just worked out.
Nice. So we'll finish up on this. Obviously, we'll touch on a nice positive thing too. And what I love about the Calgary Flames is how much the whole entire organization with the Flames, the Wranglers, and obviously the Hitmen and the Roughnecks and all that stuff, but St. Peter's and just that city, how much they give back to the community. How excited are you when you get those opportunities with your teammates to get out to the community and give back and see kind of what that does for other people and how much it helps them and brings a smile to their face?
Honestly, it's everything. It's so cool to like be a part of that, and I mean just to see some of the smiles that we can bring. I mean, it might not feel like it to us, but to them, like it's a big deal to have us come and support them. So I mean, honestly, just to realize and understand the impact we can have on kids' lives, and I think it's so cool to finally get that opportunity. I mean, we've gone out to Siksika a few times and skated out there, and it was a really cool experience. And
Yeah.
we do a lot of good for the community. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's amazing with that organization, and that foundation does. Is there, obviously you just talked about one there, is there another one that kind of that is near dear to your heart that when you went into it you didn't know how much you're what it was about, but when you went into it it was like, this is awesome, this kind of fills up my cup of tea, I like doing this? So
Oh yeah. I got a pretty crazy story actually. So a billet dad on our team, he runs a hockey program called Superheroes Hockey. So it's kids with maybe physical disabilities or mental disabilities, and they're on the ice and skating and playing hockey. And we decided to come out and skate with them. And I met one of my closer friends now. His name's Talon, and
yeah.
he's also a black player too. So
Yeah.
I think to have me there, his mom
Yeah.
emailed me and she said like it was super nice to have you skate with Talon and kind of get to know him a little bit on the ice. And so yeah, I mean, when I met him, he was starting off slower, and then as we kept going, he got better and better, and the smile on his face grew more and more. And at the end of it, he gave me a hug and he said, "Thank you for everything." And I was like, "What's going on?" Like I
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
it meant that much to him, but yeah. So it's honestly been so cool to be a part of something like that. And even now, like I'll invite them to my games, get them tickets, and I see them every now and then. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. There's a saying that's a beautiful saying. It's make a difference, not just a living. And you just did that for that young gentleman there. So keep doing it. Keep going forward here. All the best towards the end of the season, and all the best in the playoffs. And we're looking forward to kind of seeing how your career plays out here. And keep at it, man. You got a bright future. So all the best to
Well,
you and your family, man.
thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries at all. Take care, buddy.